All right. Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Studio C podcast. And we are on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube this week. Trying a few things out, growing the platform.
Nice.
It's the one and only Kid Vicious.
Dang, why so low energy?
Pretty high energy.
But what's good was great. It's your boy Phil.
All right. And we got a few things to talk about this week. From NHL to NFL, and everything in between. Uh, Big moves or big things happened in the MLB also that I was excited about. But let's start off with NFL. Not much that I personally know. I know Stephon Diggs was traded to. Who was he traded to again?
The Texans.
Texans. Yeah, that's right. So that was huge this past week. Um, they officially announced their new kickoff rule, but we already knew that. Um, Chiefs might be moving to a new city, or most likely moving to a new city. That's huge news. Um, yeah, let's start off with the Chiefs thing. So, end of this year, end of the season, the Chiefs owner came out and said that basically they want a new stadium, and if they're gonna propose a bill to raise taxes and help out for the new stadium, and if the bill is ignored or rejected, then they are moving to a new city. This past week, they announced that the city rejected the bill to raise taxes, and so they are possibly moving. Chiefs are possibly moving to a new city.
Yeah. I actually hate this. I think Kansas City, the Chiefs are one of those teams that they seem to fit in Kansas City, especially with them being a small market city, not really having a lot of attraction. Is having the Chiefs there, that's something that really just fits with them, fits with their city. I know Arrowhead, they love their Chiefs. So I hope they can get everything worked out because, I don't want to see the Chiefs move.
Two fucks about the Chiefs. I just want the Packers to do well next season.
I mean, yeah, I think it's kind of a scummy thing the Chiefs owners are doing. They're they're multi-billionaires, and the stadium they want costs like I can't remember, but it was like 500 million or something like that. So, I mean, they could make it work by themselves. I don't get why they have to raise taxes, but that's but yeah, it's a shame, but I feel like that he said that just to scare them into approving the bill. I don't think it's a real possibility.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I don't see realistically, I don't see them moving the Chiefs. Especially they've been there for so long. Like I said, they just belong in Kansas City. So I don't see them moving that.
Yeah, the Dallas mayor actually came out and said he'd like the Chiefs to come there after all this. Like if they do end up moving, he'd like to see them move back to Dallas. But what else happened? We talked about Diggs. I can't really see much. I think off-season training just started, right?
Recruit the people that are being drafted, visiting teams and stuff too.
Yeah, draft
As well.
draft is in a couple weeks too, so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, when it comes to for NFL news, this is kind of the slow time of the year where we're just kind of waiting on draft season and things like that.
I
But
mean, most news I've seen so far is that people are pushing for the Commanders to go back as the Redskins. So
yeah, my thing about that, the because I'm not gonna say so the name that they had before, like I said, I'm not gonna say it. It is historical. That's the team that they were. It's been like that for a long time. But I mean, I definitely understand why they changed it. And
oh, Phil, we were
yeah,
lied to. The natives had no problem with it, according to this article. They had no problem with it. We were lied to.
I mean, my only thing about that, why did we only change them? And we didn't change the Braves. Isn't there a baseball team called the Indians?
Well, they changed them. They changed their name too.
They changed. Okay, okay. Well, then yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I understand it because I know for me, if there is a team called, I don't even know what it would be, but if there's a team that would kind of be offensive to not only black but anybody's culture or who they are, I think most people would want the team name changed. So I mean, I understand that. Why people are upset about it, like I said, I mean, I know the other name was historical, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was offensive or found offensive. They came up with a new name. I can see they're still called the football team, but they got a name now. It's the Commanders. Let's just roll with it. I mean, I don't really see the big deal in it.
I mean, yeah, I'd say if it is that big of a deal for them to have the Indian as their mascot, switch that.
That's the thing I'm trying to tell you guys. The natives didn't have a problem with it. We were lied to.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying is if the Indian if people who are fighting for it back, the name change to be changed back, one like because I know it was with the logo especially, and I don't know so much about the name, but with the logo they sued the Commanders because the logo was an actual person. Um,
Yeah, I want to say the name, the old name of the team was considered an offensive slang or slur as well.
yeah, the logo, if it was a real person, because that's what they were fighting for. There, they were saying it's a real historical person, and they want it back. It was kind of disrespectful for them to take it away in the first place. So, if it was a real person, great. Um, maybe change it back if there's enough pushback, but I don't know. I feel like if majority of the people are fine with the name now, then there's really no point in
Yeah,
naming the logo.
yeah, I definitely agree. I know KV. If you want to talk more about it individually, then I can kind of go more into it, KB and barbecue off stream or whatever. But
No,
for sure,
I just wanted to reiterate that we were given false news because initial report said that the Native Americans had a problem with it. Now reports are saying that. I just want to clarify that reports are now saying that the Native Americans didn't have a problem with it. That's all
but
I want to say.
I just don't see how we know that that's true. Like, are we going off of one article? Are we going off a source? Are we going off a group of five of them? Like, how do we know that that's not a problem and that that's not offensive to them? Like, it's kind of hard to like they're not all coming together on CNN saying we have no problem with this. Like, it's kind of hard to know who it offends, why it may offend them. So that's why it's best that they changed it, and it's best to, you know, we can reflect on the past, but let's not live in the past. Let's focus on the present and the future. They're the Commanders now, and I don't really I don't really think it's a big deal like that. This is coming from someone. I mean, I like the old name and the old logo. I mean, it was cool, honestly, looking back on it. But I mean, I'm not shouting for them to change it or anything.
Um. So yeah, they're not much NFL news. Biggest being Stefon Diggs, obviously, but um, some huge news. Boxing news came out a couple of days ago. So apparently, the whole Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight was fake. Um, Jake Paul came out on a podcast and said, anyone who's thought it was real is basically dumb, and it was always fake. So who know,
What?
who knows with Jake Paul? He's probably trying to get publicity or for something.
It has
But
to be because why would you include Netflix in a big joke? Like, why? Why would Netflix be a part of that?
there's a conspiracy going around. Like, I only saw one video of it, so I don't know if it's true or not. But some people are saying that only said that because his brother is in a huge controversy right now where he basically stole millions of dollars from his fans, and he's trying to take away from that. But I don't know.
Paul, bro, that dude just finds any way to be stupid, bro. Like, I thought Jake was the dumb one. No, Logan's the dumb one.
They're both dumb, in my opinion.
Did this?
Jake Paul just has a lot of antics. Logan is just dumb as shit, man. Like, why are you doing dumb stuff like this? Like, first you were filming dead bodies, now you're stealing money. Get over yourself, man.
Did this news come out? Or did this come out? Did he say this during April Fools by chance, or is this?
I'm not sure when
I've
the
seen
podcast
people talk
episode
about
was.
it on April Fool's Day, bruh. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like it was.
I don't know when the Jake Paul, when that, like, because it was on a
Because the guy who
podcast.
because the guy who helps him, what, MVP Promotions, on their Instagram page, there was literally a same video of him talking about, oh, if you bought tickets and stuff, it was fake, blah blah blah. Now, if I if I'm remembering right, that was on April Fool's. I'm sorry, I think it was.
I mean, hopefully, because if not, they deserve jail time for that. I was gonna say jokingly as a joke, as far as getting us excited for a fight that's not gonna happen. But if we're talking about tickets and stuff have been paid for, I mean, I like I said, I like what barbecue was saying about since his brother's in some controversy, just say it to try to get some attention off of him. I would hope that's the reasoning, because yeah, them saying that just calling it, saying out of nowhere that this is fake. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It could have been the video could that I watched could have been fake entirely. You just never know on the internet, but that's what I saw. But I don't necessarily believe it just because what you guys said. It's been a huge thing for over a month now, I think, and yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
The reason why I believe it's fake is because Jake Paul, when he first started boxing, he dropped a list of people he wanted to fight, and Mike Tyson was on that list.
yeah, I'm not sure, but with the same on the same topic, could also be fake, but apparently rumor is that Jake Paul in a recent interview or whatever was talking bad about Mike Tyson's dead daughter. So yeah, everyone's on Mike Tyson's side now. If that's true, which I wouldn't put it against him to not say those things, but yeah, he definitely seems like the type of guy to say those things as a joke, and but there's some lines you do not cross, and you're someone's dead daughter. That's a line you do not cross. I mean, just in my opinion, but
I think it's true. Jake hasn't done this at all. All his antics are usually about the person. The trolling is usually about the person, not anybody else. So I don't think this. I think it's fake.
again, I wouldn't put it again like beside him. Just the type of person that I see him as, but
I stand with Jake. I know people hate him because he's so controversial and stuff, but I stand with Jake, man. He's a great businessman.
Yeah. First off, before I give my opinion, I did not know Mike Tyson had a daughter that passed away. So, of course, condolences to them, and rest in peace to her. I did not know that, but um, I'm kind of in between both KB and Barbecue. I agree with KB on the part, not I wouldn't say agree, but I'm with KB on the part that I don't know if this is real or not, but like Barbecue was saying, and I'm not gonna say if it's real or not, but like Barbecue was saying, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, to be honest, this kind of seems like a Jake Paul thing to do, and not even just with him, but just boxers or fight entertainers in general. This is stuff to their entertainers. They're gonna sell the product, sell the fight, get eyes, get attention, get us talking about it. So I hope it's not true because I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's official. I'm going to say it's not true, but I wouldn't put that past him. And if he did, like Barbecue was saying, whether you're promoting or whatever, it's just certain lines you don't cross, and that's obviously one of them. So
yeah, just to be for legal reasons, we are not accusing anyone of anything. Uh, just like Phil said, if it is true, these are just rumors. So anyone's Jake Paul's marketing lawyers don't come at us, even though probably won't anyway. But just just to be safe. But yeah, it it is what it is. I mean, some things are just not meant to be said, and like if he did say it, there's tons and tons of other things he could have talked about, especially with Mike Tyson, and you could have talked about make jokes about him biting off someone's ear. I mean
right,
that's fine,
He did that already.
but yeah, it's just I don't know. All right, you guys want to talk NBA?
Playoffs no, not playoffs. My bad. Playing tournaments for person. First off, I want to say, good job playing tournament. Yeah.
Yes,
The Hawks. They're in the playing tournament,
yes, we are.
possibly able to go to the playoffs.
We will.
Keep digging. I mean, you knocked off the Brooklyn Nets. They weren't able to. They got eliminated, and the Hawks got in. So, that's just. I mean, the last time the Hawks went to the playoffs, I think they played in the play-in tournament as well, right?
The last 2 times we had to go through the play-in.
Yeah. So that's not a hard thing for the Hawks to do. But yeah, good job on that. What else do I want to say? It's been good, but at the same time, it's been more like good for individuals. I haven't really seen any teams that I believe that are going to be the NBA champions this year. It seems a little bit competitive from the what's that last tournament we had?
The tournament.
Yeah, the in season tournament. From since then, like it's been competitive. Yeah, sure, each side has their front runners, but I don't really see like if you were to ask me today who is going to be in the finals, I'm not sure of the team. Not even one. I mean, it's just like no one's like really giving an edge in their conference. Like in the
Really?
West, the number one spot keeps changing. The East, I mean, I guess you can pick some teams like you probably put the Bucks out there. Who else from the East? Any top team you probably put out there from the East. From the East, it can be anybody. The West is usually the same couple teams. So I mean, yeah, I just like the NBA. The NBA is not being very interesting this year. I mean, it's competitive, but at the same time, it's it's a product of you don't know what's going to happen. You're kind of in limbo this year.
Man, I actually got to disagree with a lot of that. I think right now where we're at in the NBA season, it probably is just because we're kind of at that stage where it's like we're ready for the playoffs now. You know, the regular season is kind of whatever at this point. We're just looking forward to the playoffs. I can see that, but as far as no one's really separating themselves from anybody, the West is stacked. The West is very entertaining. This is going to be one of the best West playoffs we've ever seen. Um, I can understand what you mean about nobody really sticking out in the West, even though I would say most people pick Denver is sticking out and then everybody else. But as far as the East, I think it's clear cut. The Boston Celtics are clearly the best team in the East, and it's championship or bust. I think the Bucks, they're kind of underwhelming. Damian Lillard, as much as I love him, he's kind of been underwhelming for what they expected or wanted him to be. Or let me not even say underwhelming, but he's been very inconsistent. Sometimes he looks like Portland Dame dropping 30, 35 plus. Other times he's shooting like 30% from the floor, 20 points, and it just doesn't look good. But the Celtics stick out for me in the East. I'm just looking forward to watching the West. As far as just speaking on my Hawks real quick, because that is my team. We've been playing well the last few games. I mean, I don't have high expectations for us. We're a very mid team, but we play hard and we're scrappy. And I think we're not going to win the series. I'm not going to say, but kind of like last year with Boston, what we did. I think right now we're going to play either the Celtics or the Bucks. I'm not saying we're going to win, but we're going to take the series to 6, possibly 7 games. We're going to be very annoying, and we're going to be a very annoying and agitated team. And it's like, why can't they just go down and lose? But that's really as far the furthest I see us going is just, first round exit. But yeah.
So with Boston, just to go back there,
Mhm.
Boston has not gotten close since they competed against LeBron and the Cavs. That's the last time they got really close.
Boston was just in the finals 2 years ago against Golden.
I mean, they got there, but Boston, as far as getting, I don't think they can get there this year. I feel like they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but Boston's just they're a team like, okay, what do they need to do to win it all? Like I feel like they got all the pieces. Like what do they need to change? What do they need to fix to get over the hump? I'm rooting for the Celtics. I like the Celtics franchise. It's a great team, great group of young guys showing you how it's done. You know, the Hawks could learn from the Celtics because the Celtics were the Hawks at one point when they were young. But these guys have been in the league for a couple of years now, so they kind of got the gist of it. I feel like that's what the Hawks are. They're a young team that just needs some time to develop, like the Celtics did. And like, like, like with the Hawks, I can see the Hawks going deeper. I mean, the Hawks are honestly a sleeper team. I mean, they were the time when they got past, I think, almost three teams in the playoffs. Nobody expected them to do that. Each series, people like, oh, they're gonna be done here. Nope, the Hawks won that series and kept going. And I'll be honest with you, Phil. I thought the Hawks were gonna go all the way because they were just kind of, you know, doing their thing.
If Trae Young wouldn't have got hurt, we would have. But I think the whole problem with the Hawks is that run, that ECF run you're talking about was three years ago now. And the whole problem with us is we haven't really progressed. We've kind of degressed since that run. That's why we went out and traded for DeJounte Murray because it was like, let's maximize off of that run. But we haven't really progressed since then. And that's kind of been the whole problem with the Hawks. We've been stuck in this middle of the pack team. Um, but kind of going back to the Celtics real quick, I think they've almost been to the ECF like every year since 2017. Like they've been one of the best in the league for a long time, and this is the year that they're just clearly the best team. And honestly, I think the only thing that can stop them, all seriousness, is themselves and the Hawks. But in even more serious, I do think the Hawks could have a chance. But even more serious, I think the Celtics, no team can beat the Celtics except themselves. They got too much talent. They're too good coach. They got too much ability. And I just don't see anybody stopping them in the East. Now, once they get to the finals, I don't know. But as far as just getting to the finals, I don't see anybody stopping them.
I think it's no bias that said at the end, just because you don't know what's going on in the West. Now, if the Nuggets come out of the, I feel like, all honesty, the Celtics can beat any team out of the West, in my opinion, because no team is a powerhouse anymore. There's no such thing as powerhouses anymore. So I feel like any team can be beat out of the West. Now, if they get somebody like OKC, they're winning. If they lose, that's wow. Now, if they get like the Nuggets, I feel like the Nuggets would probably be a team where, okay, we've been here before, we know what to do, it's gonna be competitive. But if they get something like the OKC, somebody like the OKC, oh yeah, they're going to town. There's no way they should lose.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I don't want to go too deep into it because I do want to transition and ask you about this. So March Madness college basketball has been going on. We're in the Final Four now. I don't know about you, but I've not watched the men. I've been watching the women. And Kate, the LSU game from was it Tuesday? It might have been Monday. But with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Flage, all the stars on the court, it was LSU and Iowa. It broke the record for most viewed or most watched women's tournament game in history. With the way the women's game is progressing, with a lot of people watching primarily the women. A lot of people more entertained by it. A lot of people saying that's more entertaining. The stars that we're seeing to come up in the women's game, like Paige Buckers, like Juju, is it Watson? I don't know, the girl from USC, like these different players I'm not even naming. How do you feel this is going for the women's game of basketball, and how do you feel it's going to continue to? Do you feel that's going to continue to progress and grow off of this, or do you think that's kind of going to die down?
Players gonna have a positive and a negative effect. I feel like it might die down a little bit, and you want it to, because if it doesn't, you're gonna have a bunch of Asian Reeses that are gonna stick around. Well, she just declared for the draft, but initially she was gonna stick around and make that NIL money. You don't want them so stagnant of making the NIL money. That's why I'm a supporter of pushing the WNBA to give the higher salaries, because they're not intrigued with going to the WNBA if they're not making any money. They're gonna stay in college and they're gonna do NIL. And to answer your question, I feel like women's basketball. I think this is the year of women's basketball. I think women's basketball is gaining more attention as the years progress. Thanks to players like Caitlin Clark, even though she said the N word, which offended me. But anyways, like players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Flage, players like that are big in women's basketball. As you get more and more players like that, I feel like women's basketball is going to take more of a spotlight. You want it to kind of progress on the professional level as well, and I know that's a tall task in itself, but that's the end goal, I believe, for women's basketball, is for it to get to a point where you don't have to go overseas, where you don't have to stay in college. So I feel like it should keep progressing as more and more talent goes into college and out of college into the WNBA or wherever aspect they go as far as basketball. It pertains to basketball. I've watched the men's side. The men's side, it's all right. The women's side has been way more competitive, better games.
Yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of it, and pretty much all of what you said about that. I love that women's basketball is getting a spotlight that I want to say deserve, but let's just be real. This is some of the best talent in one collective at one time that we've gotten in women's basketball history, in my opinion. I know we've had our Cheryl Millers, our Candace Parkers, our Maya Moores. We've had those people, but they've only been at once. That's like if Caitlin Clark was the only women's basketball player right now. That's kind of how it's been. Where now we got, you know, we got like 8, 10 Caitlin Clarks in women's basketball right now. So it gives us something to watch. It's entertaining. We look forward to watching this. I really hope that it could continue to grow, that we could continue to know players coming up. I just don't know if that talent pool is the same. I don't know if it's still there with this next classes coming up. Hopefully so. I also love this because it brings attention to now the WNBA. I'm looking forward. I'm going to watch Angel Reese in the WNBA. I'm going to watch the WNBA because I want to see what Caitlin Clark is going to do in there. I want to see what a dang, I forgot her name now, but the girl that did 3-point contest against Curry in the All-Star game, Sabrina, I think is her name. I want to see her play some. So it's bringing that attention to them. And to your point that I really do agree on also, it forces the WNBA to step up. Now, I don't know how much control they have over there. I don't know how much money they even have to offer to keep their league running. But like you were saying, you got to give these girls and to want the old WNBA because they're making more money, they're getting more exposure, and it's just you're in college. I mean, it's just a better life in college, and you get paid more money to stay there. rather than going to the WNBA. Like I honestly thought Angel Reese was going to stay another year after this year, but she went ahead and declared. So I definitely agree with you on that. Hopefully, it forces or pushes the WNBA to, try to get their incentives and stuff better with their players. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I hope that
It, it's not up to the WNBA. The WNBA is funded by the NBA. The NBA funds the WNBA, so it depends on what they want to do. I mean, they've been supportive, but I feel like this highlight of women's basketball right now, spotlight. I mean, come on, shovel out some more money to get bigger contracts. Bigger contracts means brings more attention to women's basketball. I mean, all honesty, it's professional women's basketball. It's during the summertime where the NBA is off. That is a big market right there if you would pay the players correctly, if you would spotlight them more to use a platform where the major sports are not on at the time. They're all in off season stuff to push the WNBA and people can watch it. I mean, for me, I got introduced to the WNBA because when I was in summer camp, I used to go to that used to be one of the field trips. So, and
uh,
the arena, I'll be honest with you, I've never seen an arena look so empty. I've seen more people at a high school game than I've seen at a women's WNBA game. Like I've seen more. Our high school Llewellyn used to be dog packed for a girls basketball game, so it's kind of weird not seeing that on a professional level.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. So yeah, the NBA they definitely need to do better with their funding because even you have brought it up. There a lot of those players they had to play overseas during their off season just to make a living for themselves. That's one reason why Brittany Griner was over in Russia because she was playing overseas basketball because she couldn't live and support herself off of the WNBA salary. So they definitely need to get that fit. But overall, I feel that this is good for the women's basketball game. I think you're on mute, barbecue.
Ready to talk about MLB?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, big week in the MLB state. In the MLB stage. Let's see, let's go through. Wait, what was the last show? 28th. So let's go to the 28th. All right. Thursday, the 28th. Pirates won 6-5 against the Marlins. And Braves did not play. Friday, Braves won 9-3 against the Phillies. And Pirates won again 7-2 against the Marlins. Saturday, the 30th, Braves won again 12-4 against the Phillies. Pirates won 9-3 against the Marlins. Sunday, Braves lost to the Phillies, ending their winning streak 5-4. Pirates won against the Marlins again 9-7. And then Monday, Braves won beginning a new winning streak against the White Sox 9-0. And then Pirates won 8-4 against the Nationals. Tuesday.
Yeah, the Braves lost again to the White Sox.
Tuesday? They didn't play Tuesday.
Well, the next game we played against the White Sox, we lost that one.
And
3-2.
then Pirates won or lost yesterday, ending their 7-game winning streak. Sadly. But great start for the Pirates. I mean, I think I heard it's the first time they've had a 7-game winning streak since the 1980s.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I'm a fan of both Pirates and Braves, but I got to give a little shout out to my Pirates who haven't been good since the when was their last national championship?
World Series. It's called a World Series, not a national
Same
championship.
thing.
No, it's called a World Series.
It's the same thing. World Series championships, so we're both wrong. The last time they won the World Series was 1979. So, gotta give a little shout out to the Braves, and it looks like they're gonna win tonight against the Nationals. It's right now, it's 7-2, bottom of the 7th. But yeah.
You definitely sounding much more Pirates fan than Braves, but nah, I definitely.
What I want to say about my Braves is we got some excellent pitching going on from last year. I will say that. I also will say go Braves. I mean, yeah, we lost. I mean, 2 games so far. Other than that, we've been doing good.
What were you gonna say, Phil?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, you definitely been sounding because even the group chat much more Pirates than Braves recently, but I definitely understand it, especially when one of your teams, they've been bad for so long, historically bad for so long that 7-game win streak, all this success, I'll be shouting out and being proud as well. So I definitely understand it.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a Pirates fan overall, but right now, or more of a Braves fan overall, but right now, Pirates like 80%, Braves 20, just because they're doing so good. It'll probably even out. Well, it's probably about 50-50 now that they lost their 7-game winning streak, but man, I mean, I remember a family friend would take me, my dad, and my brother and himself every year to Braves Pirates game, and we would all root for the Braves because Pirates sucked. But now it's just really good to see them do well finally. Management still sucks. Owners still suck because they put no money into the team. That's why we are historically bad. But we're turning things around, hopefully, and hopefully gonna make a run for the playoffs. But when do the Braves play tomorrow, right? They didn't play today, right?
Yeah, we play tomorrow against the Diamondbacks at 7:20.
Yeah, so rooting for Braves tomorrow. Pirates tonight. Well, I'm rooting for Braves and Pirates tomorrow, but yeah, definitely more of a Braves fan overall. Just right now in this moment, Pirates.
Yeah, I've been a Braves fan all my life. So it's changing that. That's the only Atlanta team I'll support. All the other ones are complete garbage.
All right. Was it necessary?
They are. It's true. They're peasants.
I
Wow.
mean, for me, I'll support Atlanta just because I live here. Every single Atlanta team is my second favorite team except the Hawks, even though I'm not much of a basketball fan. Um, since Pittsburgh doesn't have a basketball team, I'll go Hawks no matter what. Uh, Pirate or and Braves and Pirates are kind of on the same boat right now. Used to be Braves over Pirates, but now Pirates are actually doing good. So, but everything else, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh all the way. Like hockey, Penguins. Even though Atlanta doesn't have a team anymore. Uh, Football, Steelers. Even though Falcons are a close second. Um, but yeah. So I just support them because I live here. And Phil is a fan, so I gotta be a good friend and support.
Yes, we always appreciate the support. Except, please, Steelers fans, stop coming to Atlanta. Bro. I get sick every time they come here. It's a Steelers home game. I mean, it's torture to see through the TV. Just yellow towels, all the red seats. It just doesn't look right. You got red seats, but I see the yellow towels more than red and black. It's just I hate it.
Hey, we're good travelers. We're good travelers. I'll tell you that. But no, it was actually really funny. Even preseason games, it's like all yet black and gold. It's just like, are are we in Pittsburgh or Atlanta?
Yeah.
So welcome in, Rogue. How's it going on Kick? Yeah, Steelers are gonna be really good this year. I don't have the most hope in Russ. He's kind of a believe it. I'll
So the
believe it
Steelers
when
gonna
I
be really
see it.
good. How
Um,
you gonna say the Steelers are gonna be really good and then follow up with that? That's crazy.
we
That is
got
a
we got
crazy,
other things going on.
that's a crazy statement.
I just said I don't have the most hope in him yet.
See how I really don't.
Bro, have
We're
you
talking,
seen his like what he did in
but you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. Yes, what a player does matters about what they're doing recently, but when you look at the player overall, he's had success. Russell Wilson just
yeah, but
has to
he's
be.
also 40 years old.
Dude,
He's
they threw him to the
he's past
Broncos.
his prime.
The Broncos was a bad past his prime. Tom Brady won like two Super Bowl past his prime. Anyways,
Tom
they
Brady's
threw him
also
into
Tom Brady. You know how I feel about Tom Brady.
a bad situation going off rep. The Broncos were a bad team. Of course, he's not going to look that great. We can
Again,
say the
I'll
same thing
believe
about
it when I see it. If he
we can say the same thing about Justin Fields. He was thrown into a bad situation, and you guys give him the
bro,
benefit of
I
the doubt.
was
Why can't we?
just
Why can't we give a
because
proven
Justin
quarterback the
Fields
benefit
isn't
of the doubt?
30 years old.
Why can't we give a proven quarterback the benefit of the doubt?
Because there's a point in a quarterback's there's a point in anyone's career where he's really good. They're really good if they have a good career, and then there's a certain point where they just fall off the face of the earth.
Dude, he's
It
with the
happens.
Broncos. He was with the Broncos. What the hell did you expect him to fucking do? The
And,
fuck? The Broncos haven't been good since Peyton Manning.
if I can intervene here and be the peacemaker in this, I agree with both of you to an extent. Russell Wilson with Seattle, most people would say a Hall of Fame. If you don't want to say that, a Pro Bowl, All Pro quarterback. He was. if you also know Russell Wilson in Seattle and just him as a quarterback, things like throwing the ball over the middle, certain decision making was never his forte, but he was a great improviser and athletic. When he went to Denver, yes, KB, Denver was not a great situation, but it wasn't just terrible either. And Russell Wilson, his play was not great. He the things that he wasn't great at, like I mentioned, he still obviously wasn't great at. But then on top of that, he's gotten older. He's gotten kind of, he's enjoying life. He's gotten chubbier some. And he's athletically what made Russell Wilson, what made him great. He just can't really do that anymore. The improvising, the moving around, the spinning. He's not Seattle Russ anymore at all. But at the same time, I don't think the Russ that we saw in Denver is Russell Wilson either. I think you're going to get a combination of both, which is a solid quarterback, and it's going to win games for the Steelers. That's honestly how I think Russell Wilson is going to be.
Steelers are going to have an even better season than last year with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I continue to say that.
All I'm saying is, can you blame me for being skeptical after
No,
the whole?
I can. I can blame you because
No, you
the last.
can't.
Yes, I can.
Bro. Listen.
The last
After
great quarterback
Kenny
he
the
had is
Joke
retired.
Pickett, I got my hopes up after Kenny the Joke Pickett,
Exactly.
and I'm
Why
not getting my hopes up
skeptical?
again.
Dude, the last time you had a good quarterback was 3 years ago.
I'm not getting my hopes
Now
up
you
again.
got now you turn around years later. Now you got Russell Wilson. You have another veteran quarterback.
The possible bust.
Russell Wilson is not a bust. He's a proven quarterback. Period. Point blank. He's been in the NFL for a while. He's a proven quarterback. You know what you get with Russ. It ain't no goddamn bust. He's not a
He's a
fucking rookie
bust.
or fucking fresh sophomore quarterback like Justin Fields. Y'all need to stop riding Justin Fields. Like he's not that good. He just isn't.
I mean, he
The-
hasn't really
Russell
proved
Wilson is a
himself.
proven quarterback. He's an experienced quarterback. You know what you're gonna get with him. He's gonna do better than Justin
No.
Fields will ever do. Justin Fields literally sat in
Bro,
Chicago.
all I'm
4 years
saying is I'm
before.
skeptical until I see Russell
You'd rather Justin
Wilson
Fields be your starting quarterback.
do good.
But you would rather Justin Fields be your quarterback.
No, I never said that.
He did say that, Phil.
I
He
did
did
not
say that,
say
Phil.
that.
Come on, Phil. You gotta back me up.
I
He's
I hear him saying that, but bro, KB, if I believe right now Russell Wilson's the better quarterback. I think he's still a good, solid quarterback. But bro, and Russell Wilson was not bad last year. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. His numbers are pretty great. But bro, if you look at the last 2 seasons from both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, bro, could you blame anybody for wanting to choose Justin Fields? Or if not,
yes. Justin
Bro.
Fields has not proven that he's a top tier quarterback, in my opinion. He's proven that he's like
Russell Wilson, the
second
last
tier.
has shown you he's a top quarterback.
I'm not saying Russell Wilson has shown that he's the top quarterback. I'm saying Justin Fields hasn't shown anything to grant him being a starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's showing more the last 2 seasons than Russell Wilson has.
I mean, yeah, but that's because Russ is older. Justin's still young and vibrant.
Come towards the middle. Come on, KB. You're almost there. Come on, buddy. Keep swimming. Keep swimming.
Justin Fields is not a starting quarterback. He's just not.
I think a lot of quarterbacks don't need to start coming right into the fire. I think he needs this bench year. He needs this. But I don't even know where we were going at. But Russell Wilson, he's a solid quarterback now.
Exactly. Like, give Russ a chance. I feel like Barbecue's not even giving Russ a chance.
I'm just saying I'm skeptical.
He's writing him off.
I'm just saying I'm skeptical. And I have the right to be after the whole Kenny Pickett situation.
I mean,
all I'm saying is I'm skeptical until he proves to me he's good on this team.
I think he's going to take you to at least the second round of the playoffs.
I don't know yet.
Yeah. You gotta look from his perspective, KB. Like barbecue, he doesn't know. First, Kenny, you could obviously he loves Kenny. Look at the back of his wall. So
Oh,
he's
not
still hurt from
anymore.
that.
I unfollowed him on Instagram.
But was Kenny ever good, to be honest with you? Kenny was hit or miss. I'm sorry. He just what? Bro, barbecue, you don't have to do this. Like, what the crap? What? Bro, that was uncalled for.
Well,
That was so uncalled for. Like, what? What? You can still support a quarterback even if he's not on your team.
Bro, no. It's not because he's not on the team anymore. It's how he left. He
Either way, he's gonna be back.
decided as the little bitch he is to be like, I'm not a starter anymore, so I'm gonna leave and be a backup somewhere else.
I mean, it was a lose-lose situation for him either way. So, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, you gotta look. He doesn't know. Barbecue doesn't know what Russell Wilson he's getting. He doesn't know. Seattle Russ was great. Seattle Russ was also 4 or 5 years ago, and even that last year in Seattle was not good. Russell Wilson, the last 3 seasons, bro, has not been very good. He hasn't been terrible. But he's not been very good. So I mean, I would be skeptical. That's why I didn't want to. I would have rather, and y'all know how I felt about Kirk Cousins. I was talking to my family stuff during the off season. I was like, as much as I want Justin Fields, I would rather Kirk Cousins. If we're not gonna get him, I would rather Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson, based off of what I've been seeing. So I understand why Barbecue would be skeptical.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get my hopes up on another quarterback that's just going to disappoint me, possibly disappoint me again. That's all I'm saying is I'm skeptical. If he proves himself, sure, I'll jump on the Russ wagon. But and I will say I will fully with all my heart say Steelers country, let's weld. All my heart. Right now, I'm just like, I'm skeptical.
And KB, thinking about it, you have no right to talk about any type of quarterback situation because you told me during the season that you would take Desmond Ridder over Jordan Love. I'll never.
We love Jordan Love. We're in love with Jordan Love. We're not hating on him no more. Stop bringing it up, Phil, bro. We're behind Jordan Love.
So I don't want to hear that.
Vicious Promotion is behind Jordan Love.
Yeah, okay.
And Love we trust.
He must have deleted all the wanted posters for Jordan Love he posted earlier this year.
Yeah, he did.
I plead the fifth on those.
All right, NHL. First, before we get into any of the scores, there was something interesting that happened a couple games ago. Rangers Devils game. There was a 10-player brawl within the first 2 seconds of the game starting. 8 players ejected within the first 5 seconds.
So they was talking shit before the game or something.
Locker room, they were like, hey, they probably did some Jake Paul stuff. Hey, you're dead dog.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, That's
Again,
wild.
that's a joke for any lawyers out there.
Yes. Man. And then it had to be really bad because hockey, they usually let you fight. So for them, I mean, a 10
Eh,
person is wild, but yeah, for them to do ejections and stuff, I'm gonna have to watch the video. That's crazy though. That and then 2 seconds in the game, yeah, they was talking crazy. Whether it was social media or going through the tunnel, that they was talking crazy right before.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they fully allow fights because if you do get in a fight, you do go out. Just you do go into the penalty box, but and if it's really bad, you do get ejected. But I mean, a 10-player brawl, I feel like there definitely should have been ejections for that
Yeah,
because I know this is a lot smaller than the one that we had in high school because there was a full lunchroom brawl in our high school, my ninth grade year, uh, and that was this situation is a whole lot smaller, but they're 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 also grown men. I mean, there had to have been some cheap shots that went in there.
yeah.
I want to actually watch the video right now. I got a general ad. I don't need insurance. All right, yeah, I'm watching the video right now.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as like not even the puck didn't even hit the ground and people were starting to fight. The
Yeah,
the
that's
the ref was just drop the puck and you immediately see people punching each other and then these two players in the background they were just chilling and then they just saw two other people fighting and were like, hey, we might as well fight too, and then started
right.
throwing punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine being in that stadium though.
Yeah, for real. That's wild.
Yeah, that
That
that, that would have been definitely fun to watch. All right, on to scores this week. What did I say? Last week was the 28th. 28th. Penguins won against the Blue Jackets 3-2. Rangers won against Avalanche 3-2. Saturday 30th. Penguins won against the Blue Jackets again, or lost against the Blue Jackets 4-3. I don't think Rangers won against the Coyotes 8-5. Monday, Penguins won against the Rangers 5-2. Tuesday, Penguins won against the Devils 6-3. Yesterday, Rangers played against the Devils, won against the Devils 4-3. And then today, Penguins are winning against the Capitals 2-0. And Rangers play tomorrow. All right, let's talk playoff odds. Rangers, I mean, not really surprised considering KV picked literally the best team in the league. Um, Rangers have 100% have made the playoffs. They have an 81.5% chance to make round two, 48.9% chance to make round three. 26.1% chance to make the finals, and 13.4% chance to win the cup. Penguins, they have a 14.7% chance before tonight, if they win, to make the playoffs, a 3.2% chance to make the second round, a 0.9% chance to make the third round, a 0.2% chance to make finals, and a 0.1% chance to win the cup. So not looking likely, but we still have a chance, slight chance to make the playoffs.
Yep, got hope alive.
What do you say?
Got to keep hope alive.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if Pittsburgh wins this game, their chance is up to 23.3% chance to make the playoffs.
Okay.
So hopefully, I mean, it looks like we're gonna win, but Penguins like to disappoint, especially recently. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, I mean, first period, up 2 points. Lots of time left. I think we still have like 44 minutes left in regular, so we'll see. And this is a rival. Capitals are a rival, so
Okay.
when do they play? Next time they play is Saturday, so I might watch that game. It's 1 o'clock. I don't know what time if I'll have time, but I think that's it for me. Unless you guys have anything else. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on our first ever multi-platform stream. We will be right back here tomorrow. Oh, we forgot to do the Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get a chance to set up the graphic yet, but I have it. I have the Mount Rushmore on my phone. All right, Mount Rushmore for tonight. So, Phil, since this is your idea, you want to explain?
Yeah. So the Mount Rushmore for tonight is our top. So first, for those who don't know, Mount Rushmore is 4 people. I want to say the 4 people testing my school knowledge here. I think we got George Washington, the Thomas Jefferson's on there, FDR, and Abraham Lincoln. I think those are the 4. It basically is your our top 4 people in our franchise history based on impact, legacy, stats, what they done, whatever. And then once we all reveal our Mount Rushmore for our team, we're going to come together and make a Mount Rushmore off of our list. Basically, almost picking one from each person's list and trying to come to an agreement on a Mount Rushmore we all created at the end.
So our total Mount Rushmore will have to have 3 people instead of 2. So so one of the presidents is gonna have to get exploded off the mountain, but that's okay.
Well, or we could because I don't want to spoil it. I mean, Steelers should probably have the best people when it comes to this right here. So I mean, the Steelers, like when we get there, we'll talk about it a bit. Steelers will probably have 2 spots on there when we all come together. Yeah.
All right, we can do that. All right. Who wants to reveal their Mount Rushmore first?
I will go first. All right, for the Packers, we're doing football, right?
Yep.
Or
Our personal
all right,
team.
on Packers. Unfortunately, I hate to say his name. Such a bitch. Brett Favre. He's a freaking weirdo. Aaron Rodgers. It have to be players, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Clay Matthews and one more. Oh, that's tough. Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson.
That's cool. That's a Mount Rushmore. I think a lot of people will probably disagree with the last two picks, but it's your list, so I like that. I guess I'll go next. Before I go, I also forgot to explain. I don't know how y'all did it, but how I do my Mount Rushmores, I tried to do it differently from a typical top five or top list because for a top list, it's my personal specific list. Where a Mount Rushmore, even though it is my Mount Rushmore, I do try to leave bias and stuff out. I try to and try to add who would be best for each spot rather than just my bias in it, is what I tried to do. So for my list of all-time Falcons on my Mount Rushmore, first I'm gonna have to go with Deion Sanders. I think Deion Sanders, prime time. I think he's the best Falcon to ever play for us. He offense and defense. We didn't have too much success. I think the 91 season, if I'm not mistaken, I wasn't alive, so please forgive me, but I think that was our best season. The too legit to quit season, we had MC Hammer and Deion dancing on the sideline. It just brought a vibe, a whole swag that Atlanta should represent. But obviously, most people know who Deion Sanders is, the best cornerback of all time, arguably the best football player of all time. Started his career with us, still loves Atlanta, supports Atlanta, has to be on the Mount Rushmore. Number two, I have Julio Jones. This is another person, has to be on the Mount Rushmore. This is the greatest receiver in Atlanta Falcons history. For years, as a Falcons fan who dealt with a lot of struggle and sorriness, I knew every Sunday I could look at my screen. I know number 11 wasn't going to let me down. I mean, truly amazing to watch. One of the best receivers of all time, but obviously one of the best Falcons of all time. It has to be on the list. Number three, this is where unbiased kicks in. As much as I'm not a fan of this guy, I can't deny what he did for us. And he's one of those guys where you don't realize you got till it's gone. And that's Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has to be on the Falcons Mount Rushmore. One of the best quarterback in Atlanta Falcons history. It hurts to say, but what he's done, what he did for us, what the numbers are, it doesn't lie. And he's one of the better quarterbacks of all time. I think he could definitely be a top 50 at absolute worst quarterback of all time. That's really too low, but I'm just throwing it out there. Um, and number four, to finalize my Mount Rushmore of Falcons players, this may be a little biased because there's some other players you could put in there, but in my opinion, you can't have a Mount Rushmore of Falcons without Michael Vick. Michael Vick was great for us. Matt Ryan has better numbers than him. He had more success, better statistics. But Michael Vick, what he did for the Falcons, it was him and only him on the team, really. Won games for us, made the game exciting, brought swag to the quarterback position, brought that culture and energy in Atlanta. And really his impact is still felt on the game and on the city and in the team today. He has to be on the Mount Rushmore. So that is who I have to finish off my list.
Oh, this one was really hard for me to make.
Just still, I would hate to have to do that one.
There's just so many great past and present.
Sorry. In Steelers, there should be at least two quarterbacks in your list. There should be at least two. Two.
I don't know, bro. I'm interested.
Yeah. it pains me not to put I had TJ Watt on here, but I made a last minute decision not to put him on. It pains my heart though, because so I'm gonna be like Phil and be completely unbiased. Some of these are a little biased, but number one, Troy Polamalu
Okay.
has to
Has to
be up there. Even though he was very injury prone, just a great guy on and off the field. Every single clip I see of him is amazing. I see this one particular clip where he makes an amazing pick six. So you gotta put him up there.
He did go out to that, especially that game where he literally ran over the line, jumped over the lineman, and tried to block the punt. Like, he went out of style.
Yeah, so you gotta put him up there. When you think of Pittsburgh, you think of, I mean, you think of a lot of people, but Polamalu is definitely up there. Number two, this one's a little controversial, especially with how he ended his career. Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
But I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls, so I mean, also when you think of Ben, he spent his whole career in Pittsburgh. Uh, you think of Ben, you think of Pittsburgh, you think of Pittsburgh, you think of Ben. He's also one of the ones, like huge ones, you think of when you think of the Steelers. Number three, the Bus. Just one of the better defensive players out there. He's just amazing in every way. Even though I didn't personally get to watch him play, I do have to watch highlights of him. But he's just the stories I've heard of him, just amazing. Part of the bees, the bumblebees, or I can't remember what they were called, or the three Bs. Yeah, that's what they were called. So if you don't know who the three Bs were, they were Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and the Bus.
Oh,
The Killer Bees, Killer Bees.
they were. That was Rogersberger, AB, and Bell. Le'Veon Bell.
That never mind.
Yeah,
Shows
Bus
how much
was.
I know, right?
He was early 2000s. He was like 2002 to like 07 might be his last.
I would say this: the Bucks was your first edition of a strong back in the backfield before Derrick Henry. So I will say that
Yeah, so
I don't know.
he was a precursor to Derrick Henry.
I mean, he was still good. He was one of the really good players. Yeah, it was my fault with the Killer Bees situation. That's a little embarrassing for me, but that's okay. And the final spot, which he definitely deserves a spot on here. He made the best catch in NFL history. Franco Harris.
Okay,
Where's Terry Bradshaw on this list?
Again, there's so many greats. I couldn't. I wanted to put Terry on, but
Terry Bradshaw. Oh my God,
bro, listen.
Terry Bradshaw won 5 Super Bowls.
Listen, I wanted. It's not like I didn't want to put Terry Bradshaw on here. I couldn't.
Franco Harris had 1 catch. No.
Which was arguably the greatest catch in NFL history.
1 catch over 5 Super Bowls?
All right, I do want to speak on the list first. KB, the reason why I didn't speak on the Packers list too much was because I know Packers players, but not enough, like not just off name and just memorizing my head. So I kind of just let you take over and I listened to what you had. But barbecue, his list, it's gonna be no win. It's gonna be a lose either way because you have to fit only 4 in an all time great franchise. I will say I wasn't familiar with Teddy Bradshaw. I didn't know he won 5 Super Bowls until a while back on a show with y'all when y'all said that. He has to be over Roethlisberger for me. But like I say, I mean, it's not my list, but for me, I would replace Bradshaw with Roethlisberger. Obviously, Roethlisberger's numbers are going to be better, but look at the era he played in compared to Bradshaw. So that's me personally, and then 5 Super Bowls is crazy. Palomalu obviously stays. Franco Harris, like you said, I'm kind of KV is. I'm not going. He's mainly known for one catch, but like you said, barbecue. That's the greatest catch. Really, a lot of people call it the greatest play in NFL history. I mean, it's very hard to leave him off the list. Main person that you left off, I don't know where he would fit in, but Mean Joe Green has to be. I would think a lot of people would have somewhere on there. Even Mel Blunt, maybe, but yeah, Mean Joe Green's really the only person that comes to mind. But I like your list though. I respect it.
Yeah, you also gotta think about where I'm coming from too, because I have been a fan. It's just I've only been into football. This is like my 4th season. So even though I've been a fan my whole life, I haven't really paid much attention. So Ben is only up there because Ben's been up as quarterback pretty much my whole life, and that's all I've ever heard was Ben, 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 Ben. So
Yeah, I definitely get that. So I guess now is the time we argue and try to make our top 4 of our own, including our list. Off the bat, I'm going to say I feel Dion has to be on there. I feel Troy Polamalu has to be on there.
And Brett Favre has to be on there. Come on, Brett Favre.
We can start debating now. We can start debating. We got 2 more spots. Are we all in agreement that Dion? I mean, this is arguably the best football player.
Dion's on that list. Polamalu's on that list, and Brett Favre's on that list. He's like the best. He's the best quarterback off of each list.
No, Brett Favre is not better than bro. And I'm not even a fan of Roethlisberger. Brett Favre is not better than Roethlisberger. Right?
No,
Better than Aaron Rodgers.
No, this is not better than Brett Favre.
I think you got. I'm not even familiar with Bradshaw's game. But 5 Super Bowl rings. I don't see how he gets left off of it. Oh, he wasn't even on the list. I'm tripping. Why are we talking about him?
Brett Favre is better than Ben. He is better than Ben.
No, he's not, bro. Okay, in my opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers is because Aaron Rodgers was on your list, right, KB?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is better to me than Brett Favre and Roethlisberger. I think you look at the numbers.
The reason why I did say Aaron Rodgers is because I don't feel like he fits in with Polamalu and Deion Sanders.
I know it's tough because of his personality and because he's an a-hole. But if you just look at how he is on the field as a player, you can't deny. Let's move on to another position, and we'll go back to the quarterbacks then. So what do we have? I'm not going. I think the Steelers have better players for this list than the Falcons anymore. So what we had the Bus and Franco Harris, right? I think as the next 2, and then you said
the Bus.
I feel like we can take off Franco because
you can talk about one catch thing, Franco Harris. But the Bus has had a better overall career. He won 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
I feel like we can take off Franco. No disrespect to Franco. I feel like he is only good in Steelers fans' eyes because of that one catch, like you guys have been saying. Again, no disrespect to him. I don't want to get haunted or anything because, as we know, he has passed away. But yeah, I feel like we can take him off of the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because he is like I think I heard this he's only great in Steelers eyes. I heard he didn't have too great of a career besides that
Yeah.
one catch.
The Bucks has to be up there. I'm sorry, the Bucks. I watched the Bucks a football life on his career at the Steelers, and it was an amazing career. I mean, the guy was like he was really a fullback, but he really was the precursor to Derrick Henry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, he was.
All right. So you guys are saying the bus for third right now on the list.
Yeah.
Now, here's my pushback. Now, I'm not even trying to be, but when we go to my list now, is Julio Jones not better than the bus? The only thing Julio doesn't have that the bus has is a Super Bowl ring. I'm a guy, Super Bowls aren't everything to me. Julio Jones had the better career, and he's the better player and more consistency than Jerome Bettis, in my opinion. Now, you guys may outvote me on this, but I think if we're putting the bus in here, I think we gotta take a look at Julio.
Okay. One thing about the Bucks, the Bucks, not that he didn't get hurt. The Bucks played more of his career than Julio did. Julio has suffered a lot of injuries. The Bucks had more longevity than Julio did. He's won 2 Super Bowls, and if we're talking better player, I'm going to go with the Bucks because Julio, yes, he's a great player, but Julio only showed that in Atlanta.
I mean that's his career though. I mean, let's just be
Yeah,
real. Julio,
that's his career, but I feel like Julio is not better than the Bucks. The Bucks is on the Rushmore. Julio, if you want to put Julio on there as the last person, we can, but I don't think Julio's over the Bucks.
well, first, I don't think Julio or the bus would make the last person because I think we gotta get one of the quarterbacks in. But I see what you're saying there, but now let's just go to all-time rankings real quick. Julio is an at worst top 6 receiver of all time. Is the bus even a top 10 running back of all time? I mean, let's talk about it. I mean,
He could be number 10, and here's why I say that. It's because, like I just said, without the Bucks, you don't get a damn game. So
okay,
you don't get
so now we're talking about a guy who at worst is top 6 at his position all time versus a guy who at best is top 10 at his position of all time. I mean, like I said, if I'm outvoted here, it's nothing I can do. But I'm making my argument for.
the reason why I pushed for the Bucks. I felt like he had a better career than Julio.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to disagree, but I'm outvoted, so we'll put the bus. So we got Dion, Palomalu, and the bus. So now this last spot with the quarterbacks.
I'm going Mike
Like
Vick.
I'm going Ben. I'm sorry, I'm going Ben.
Ben over
It's because
Vick.
Ben has the most Super Bowl rings out of the remaining quarterbacks on the list. Well, he's tied with Brett Favre, but
Okay, listen. If a Steelers fan is saying Vic over Ben, it's Vic over Ben. Like what?
Ben, are you hot? Are you?
bro, Phil, agree with me on this one, please.
You're high. He's
As,
high, Phil.
as much as I love that statement, I will have to agree with KV.
What?
I think that is totally wrong. I think if we're talking about impact, swag,
Bro, I'm thinking end of Ben's career was dog shit.
it,
Over.
it was. It was. But you can, I mean, Big Ben, the numbers are better, the winning was better. He was a better quarterback, and he has a Super Bowl. He was just as I love Michael Vick is my top three. He's probably my second, first. I don't know. He's my top 3 favorite football player ever. I love Mike Vick, but to say Ben Roethlisberger, that say he's better than Ben Roethlisberger, I can't do that. All honesty, Mike Vick is probably the worst quarterback on this list with everybody we name. With Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, even Mike Vick is the worst one. And I hate to say it, like I said, we're not talking about impact and swag and all that. We're just talking about the better player, career, all that. Roethlisberger is over him. So I'll have to say that. Unfortunately, it pains me.
I was like, I seriously thought, because Ben's the last 3 to 4 years of Ben's career, it was terrible. I thought that would drop him down enough to where
I mean, but this is an overview of their career, not just the ending of their careers.
Yeah. But then the ending for Michael Vick was not good. Even though he was better than Roethlisberger, though. He was better than Roethlisberger at the end.
But if we're really talking, if we threw in the end of their careers, Colin Molly didn't have the best end to his career. Yeah, that last season, yeah, it was good, but he didn't go to he wasn't a Pro Bowler anymore. So you can't go off the ending.
I mean, either way, I'm not mad because it's Ben, but I'm more surprised that both of you disagree.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, I'm actually probably I'm really surprised Phil agrees with KV.
Yeah. Trying to be unbiased. It pains.
I'm surprised KV agrees with the Steelers.
We just it's but so I think, can we come to agreement? I think Mike Vick is throwing out the conversation. I think Matt Ryan is throwing out the conversation. So KB's arguing for Brett Favre. We got Roethlisberger, and we got Aaron Rodgers. I'm making my case for Aaron Rodgers. But where do you guys think?
Brett Favre, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre and Big Ben have 2 Super Bowl rings. Brett Favre is number 1 in my opinion because after 4 games, the Falcons let him go, and he just went to town with the Packers. And arguably, he's the best Packer of all time. I'm sorry, of all time. Brett Favre has to be the best player. When we talk about players from the Packers, he's the best Packer. He's arguably one of the best Packers of all time. Big Ben, same thing with him. He's arguably the best Steeler of all time. Aaron Rodgers, you can argue and say he's one of the best Packers of all time as well. He's not over Big Ben.
You're saying Ben is the best Steeler of all time, but didn't you just make an argument that
I said he's arguably the best, not the best. He's arguably the best.
Yeah, but didn't you make an argument about what's his name?
Bradshaw?
Yeah, Bradshaw.
Like I said, arguably means if we had an argument, he might be the best. Terry Bradshaw, in my opinion, is the best Steeler of all time.
So for me, I'm going Aaron Rodgers because first, to fact check you real quick, KV, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre both have 1 Super Bowl. Brett Favre did not win 2. He
He did win 2.
Not win 2 Super Bowls, bro.
Bro, I'm
Favre has 1.
He has 1. So you compare the 1 Super Bowl, so they both tied in that.
Ben
and then
has
who had
2.
bro, Aaron Rodgers has what 3, 4 MVPs. His interception to touchdown ratio is off the charts, one of the best in NFL history. He's efficient as hell. He can move around. He has some of the best arm talent in NFL history. Him, Mahomes, and Matthew Stafford as far as arm talent. Aaron Rodgers is the complete package and is better than Brett Favre. Brett Favre was a liability. Brett Favre was averaging 4 touchdowns, but he was gonna throw 3 picks also. I mean, Brett Favre. I'm not even adding off the field with him because he's a whole nother character off the field. But comparing to Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback, the better career. Like I said, they're both tied with Super Bowls. Now Rodgers is a 4-time MVP. Aaron Rodgers, like I said, everything I already mentioned. Brett Favre is really it's really nothing you can say. So I think let's start getting some eliminations. I think Brett Favre needs to be eliminated from this conversation.
Big Ben is number one, no doubt.
So, we'll get that. Are we eliminating Brett Favre?
Yeah, we can do that.
So now we're going to Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers, which I mean, this is a conversation, but
no, it's not Big Ben.
Again, this pains me again, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers beat Big Ben in a Super Bowl. He might have more Super Bowl wins, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers still beat him in one of them. So I'm gonna have to go Aaron Rodgers over Ben.
And 4-time MVP and everything I mentioned.
Yeah, just fully biased me would have been Ben all the way, but unbiased, I think Aaron Rodgers takes it.
And we able to come to a decision. You got outvoted on the quarterback, KV. So the Studio C Mount Rushmore to come together, all of ours. We got Deion Sanders, Troy Polamalu, Jerome Bettis the Bus, and Aaron Rodgers to round it up. I think that's a good list. I like that. We're able to come together, have some nice discussions. But I like our list.
Yeah, that's a good list, I feel like. All right, so I'm gonna have to switch the one for. Actually, could we do that with the Spider-Man movies? Because there are. Because we need to choose 4. There's how many Spider-Man movies?
What? Toby has 3. Andrew has 2. That's 5. Tom has 3, but his third has all of them in there. So we'll say Tom has 2. So yeah, that's 7. That's 7 in total. Yeah, it's 8 in total, but the No Way Home is kind of belongs to all of them. I don't know, but it's considered Tom's movie, so I guess we'll give it the Tom. So that's 8. Yeah.
I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
So I'll just switch that. All right. I feel like that's it. Unless you guys have anything else. All right. Thank you for joining us on the first show multicasting. We will be doing this for the future. And yeah, appreciate you all, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow.